Hey everybody. All right, I'm coming at you from my favorite spot in my home, my bed. I do a lot of work here, a lot of personal development here, a lot of sleeping here, and a lot of resting here because it's just so comfy. And I'm here today and I thought, you know what? I'm going to get on here and do a long overdue video because a lot of you have asked me over the years, and I've never compiled this information all in one place, how I manage to continue to heal from Lyme and co-infections and maintain pain management that I would say is excellent for the most part, naturally all along the way. So I thought I would share because I am in a little bit of pain today. I'm a little bit uncomfortable, and this is a little bit unusual too. I don't have a lot of pain days anymore, painful days anymore, which is awesome. And if I do, I've got tools to help me through that. And I'm going to share some of those with you. And if you have questions about them, just reach out to me. I will share ways to get a hold of me. Okay. So I love to talk more about it. I actually wrote down about 6 or 7 things. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is kind of a 2-in-1 way that I really make strides in my pain management and my healing process as a whole. So stay tuned for the very last point, especially because it's not an unusual point. It's not a new concept that you have never heard before, but it truly does make a difference. So you're going to want to catch that one at the end. But I first wanted to say that kind of my disclaimer is that I'm not here to treat, diagnose, cure, or otherwise claim any natural methods to be curative. I'm not here as a medical professional to discuss diagnostical things, although I am a nurse, and some of you already know that. And if you didn't, now you do. I do believe also that traditional medicine has a place in this world. Okay, but I am a very naturally minded nurse, and I believe that there are a lot of services that the medicine community has done for our society. And I want you to know medication and traditional medicine is not without its risks and side effects too. You have to make your own decision that's best for yourself in your treatment plan and work with a doctor to do that. And hopefully you have an understanding physician that is willing to look outside the box and look at choices. Putting a medication Band-Aid on pain can be helpful to subdue the pain so you can move forward, but it's not fixing anything. It is not moving you towards healing. It is just helping you have comfort along the way, which I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's what it is. So that being said, the number one thing, if you have Lyme or other conditions, even unknown what's going on conditions, if you have that going on in your life, you need to be trying to get answers. And if you have Lyme specifically or co-infections or you suspect you do, my number one piece of advice, you'll find this everywhere that I talk about Lyme and my journey and my family's journey, because I have kiddos with it too, is to find a Lyme literate provider. Not all providers are trained in Lyme properly or at all. A lot of them are just going off of one set of guidelines that are outdated. And that's doing you a disservice and could lead to a lifetime of complications, a lifetime of pain and suffering, really, and possibly worse, honestly. So that being said, you are your own best advocate. And I'm starting off with that point. It's not one of my my main points about pain, but I did want to share that with you guys. So as I cuddle up here and just take to heart what I do to recover from painful days, I'm going to share it with you and see if it helps you along your journey as well. I also do want to say that I have in the past, before I decided to take a different path for myself, been often on prescription pain medication, not of the narcotic variety, but different things to help with relaxation, with muscle tension and issues off and on. Well, some things worked a little bit here and there. I often had side effects and or did not want to be on anything long-term anyway. And then the more I learned and the more I grew in my treatment and took advocacy for myself, the more I moved away from that. Even over the counters, I try desperately to avoid. And here especially is why for me, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen, Aleve, those kinds of things, that they are Motrin, same category. They are damaging over time to your body. They're damaging over time to your body. And often you need a large dose to achieve effects. Not everyone, but even so, that adds up over time. And I was taking a lot of NSAIDs at one point as needed to help me manage along the way. And I just felt like the cumulative effect and knowing what I ended up learning along the way about my own genetics and my own body, I was in for a rough lifetime if I was going to be doing that into my old age, right? That's a lot of years of NSAID use, even off and on. Imagine someone taking them every single day. That is not safe, no matter what they tell you. That sets you up for risks. And there's no way to know until something goes wrong that, something is going to go wrong. That being said, everybody's different, right? So knowing the most you can about yourself and having a provider that is there to help you learn about your body is important. Tylenol for me, which is another category of pain relief, I had taken off and on. It never worked well for me. And then I started to have these interesting changes in my labs where sometimes my liver enzymes were a little elevated throughout my Lyme treatment. And we always chalked it up to detoxing during the Lyme treatment. It can be hard on your liver. Even the treatment can be itself. Herbals, supplements can be hard on your liver when you're going hard at Lyme. So we always tracked my labs and were cautious with that and used modalities for detox. That's another topic for another time. I was always able to manage doing it that way. Never had issues, but came to find out then, at one point I was able to have some genetic testing done and analyzed with a qualified provider who specializes in genetics and the study of nutrition and genetics. She's a functional medicine provider as well. And it was just my cup of tea and really helped me in my journey personally. Along that path, we discovered that it's not technically an allergy, but I have an inability to process Tylenol properly. Genetically, the cycle needed in your body to process that drug and release it from your body to detox from it, it's basically busted in my genetic capacity at this time. Can I heal that? Possibly. But at the end of the day, for me, Tylenol is not a safe medication choice either, because I could overdose because my body can't process and release it like the manufacturers test it for, or like a normally functioning genetic system could. So we all have unique genetics. I would have never known that. And since I completely stopped, and I was never using Tylenol a lot to begin with, occasionally here or there, again, for pain management or noggin management, good old headaches, when all else failed, and even that little bit was not working very well and causing problems for me. So now that I avoid it completely, I've not really had any more issues with my liver enzymes and stuff like that, which leads me to wonder if it was that much of an issue for me. So I only tell you these things so you know why I have really thought long and hard and done a lot of my own personal research and a lot of my own personal journey to decide what is best for my pain management. And that is the long and short of it. So do what is best for you, of course, but I'm telling you, you got to be in the right treatment for your condition, specifically Lyme, if that is what you are dealing with. And you have to, I believe, really be willing to look at what you might uniquely need. Not saying you all have to go get genetically tested, although that really can be helpful. But I'm just saying, know that everybody's different. And if you think something's up or you're uncomfortable taking certain medications or doing certain things, that might be your brain and body telling you that you need to hold up, do some research, and really decide if it is right for you or not. So that being said, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt and do your own research. All right, the first thing I have done, gosh, for like 17 years now, gosh, going on 18 years. Is that even for real? Is something my mom actually helped me with. I got started as a teenager before I was even diagnosed with Lyme, I believe. It's right before I think I got my official diagnosis. My mom actually discovered in our area where I was living a myofascial release specialist. Now, this is interesting because no doctors have been able to help me. I was super sick. She had to like almost drag me there. Like I wanted to go, but I could barely almost get there because of pain and discomfort. I've been suffering from burning sensations on my skin, deep muscle pain, joint pain. I was accumulating autoimmune diagnoses, which, by the way, have since basically gone away since I got proper Lyme treatment. I had a lot going on in the pain realm. Anything you can imagine I probably was dealing with. Headaches, migraines, too, on top of the body pain. And it was head to toe. I mean, neck, shoulders, back. It could migrate. It would be small joints like my fingers. It would be large joints. It would be muscle groups. It was a mess. And no doctor was able to really help me get very far with that. The advice I was getting for the most part was from all different specialists. Well, take an ibuprofen and go for a walk every day. Basically told I was making it up. So if you are suffering, I feel for you and I believe you. So myofascial release is a bodywork modality, which means it is often lumped in with massage therapy, but it is technically not massage therapy. It is a form of bodywork designed to release the fascia when it becomes bound and tight. And fascia is what is like a kind of a covering around your muscles that allows your muscles to glide smoothly and do their job smoothly without resistance. And it's very thin, like kind of covering around your muscles. If it becomes tight and bound, your muscles become tight and bound because they cannot work smoothly and fully functionally range of motion wise. As you can see, I'm demonstrating, talking with my hands. In our town, we happen to have a John Barnes trained myofascial release specialist. And John Barnes is basically kind of the guru of myofascial release, and his trainings are the trainings to go to become a myofascial release specialist. So I would say, if this ever interests you, side note, make sure you find a John Barnes trained myofascial release specialist, because there could be not as ideal myofascial release practitioners out there. And I wouldn't want you to get hurt. It can be painful upfront to work through that process of releasing that tension, really, and that bound up fascia. It may not be for everyone. I'll say that up front. It releases a lot in form of detox. It really causes you to detox. It would often make me nauseous from the detoxing. But my practitioner was very well trained, and this is why I emphasize that, because she knew how far to push it and when to back off, and it actually over time helped me tremendously, almost more than anything else, with just getting to a point where I could maintain not having debilitating pain every day. That single thing was one of the best I have done for all these years. And I've stuck with it, even through college, moving, having kids, getting married, all that. So I will never give that up. It's been better for me than almost anything else I've tried. But on top of myofascial release, I have also done a few other natural things. CBD. I choose a Smart Spectrum CBD, which is an isolate with essential oil additions for more terpene benefits. That's a lot of fancy science words. It basically means it works super great. There's nothing else like it out there. I can take it internally. There are rubs and rollers I can use for muscle groups. There's a muscle rub that I use that's infused with it too. And I will say, not just for pain, but for a whole lot of areas in my life, this world of CBD is amazing. I'm not going to go into all the details about it here because you can do your own research for number one. But number two, I'm also actually part of a group that is educating on the world of CBD. And I have more education I can provide you outside of here. So feel free to reach out if you're looking for more hookups and more information in that realm. Along with the CBD, yes, I do use essential oils as well. To me, like my CBD oil and my essential oils kind of go hand in hand for my oily regimen. I definitely use top of the line, best out there essential oils topically in particular to really penetrate muscle and joint discomforts and just help with ease and relief. We don't make claims about pain management in the essential oil world specifically because that's more medical terminology, but for comfort and soothing, you can find a lot in the essential oil world to be helpful. I have a lot more to say on that topic because I'm an essential oil lover. So I'm happy to talk to you more about that. If you need the hookup on the best quality that's going to be safe and beneficial, you're going to get your money's worth for, I can tell you about that. And also, I do use a couple different oils and a variety that are designed. Some are single, some are blends. And so, like I said, I'm not going to get into every single detail here, but if that is something you want to know more about, I can tell you more. It is definitely something that I find super convenient because they come in roller form, or I can make a quick rub out of them and get them on. They're in your body in seconds and they're working so fast. So between essential oils and my CBD, I get a ton of as needed pain management, especially if I don't have myofascial release coming up soon or whatever. I can just really get soothing right away. Okay, I also do use a natural pain cream at times. It is also, besides the CBD muscle rub that I have, that's designed to really penetrate the muscles, I do have an over-the-counter essential oil-based pain cream, and I can talk about it as a pain reliever because it is over-the-counter, scientifically backed, and tested, and it uses, again, the power of plants that were the original pain relievers back in the day. It's phenomenal. It's basically kind of like your over-the-counter hot and cold sensation type creams that are really powerful at penetrating deep. That is another go-to of mine that I can also combine with my oils and CBD. So I got those things all available to me that I can layer, that I can try one and try another, and just play around with, which is great. Options are great. The other thing that I do that is not necessarily topical help or like releasing muscle inflammation is watching my diet. I've had to be very, very specific about honing in on the best way of eating for me. And I don't mean a diet like dieting. I mean a diet as in what I intake to fuel my body. A lot of very common foods and sometimes even proposed healthy foods have health benefits, but can also be inflammatory to your body and can also increase your pain. And everybody's different. So I'm not going to sit here and like propose that you eat paleo or keto or AIP or whatever. I'm going to tell you though, to really check your diet and check inflammatory foods, glutens, dairies, even sometimes for some people, eggs, legumes, corn, which isn't everything and genetically modified these days. All those things can be inflammatory foods to people. Some people are inflamed by nightshades. Some people are inflamed by high histamine foods. If it sounds daunting, there are tests you can get done. I worked with that functional medicine provider I spoke about earlier to really hone in on my dietary needs based on my genetic testing and on my gut testing. I know not everyone's going that path, but that really helped me figure out that like I had certain things that were trigger foods more than others. I did do an elimination diet. I do think that that can be really helpful information that you can kind of do on your own too, as long as you are really good at keeping track of what you're experiencing, especially when you're reintroducing certain foods that you've eliminated. That's the key. So there are different ways that you can decide what diet works for you. Like I said, I'm not here to recommend one specific because I honestly think that everybody is different and may have very different dietary needs, but it can make a huge difference in how you feel pain-wise, especially due to how it may or may not, certain foods may or may not inflame your body and or your gut, which can lead to inflaming the rest of you. So I definitely would say though, avoiding white processed things is universally recommended to decrease your pain. They are not health foods. They are not white flours, white sugars, processed foods of any kind are not going to further your health journey. So I can tell you that right up front, if those are still in your diet, and you are looking for pain relief more than you're getting, I would immediately start looking at that and eliminating those things. I'm just saying. Fresh and clean foods from the earth basically are going to feed you way better than anything packaged or processed. I know this. That doesn't mean an Oreo hasn't ever graced my lips. I'm just saying. But I'm sure you will notice a difference immediately. I know so many testimonies of people, especially eliminating sugars from their diets, have seen tremendous improvements in their health and their pain specifically. So give it a try. Give it a try if you're there. If you're ready, if you're really ready, I recommend going for it. The last 2 points I'm going to make are kind of tied into one, and they are why I come to you from my bed today. Pain management sometimes involves rest and just listening to your body. Rest and listening to your body are paramount. I was in denial about that fact for years. I was not living up to those standards for years. I was go, accomplish. As soon as I started feeling better from my Lyme, I started picking up the pace on my life, getting my life back. And I still felt like I was reasonable. I wasn't that busy, like I wasn't crazy. But on a day like today, I know deep down inside my body is saying, don't go scrub your floors. One load of laundry is enough. You can sit in your bed and do this video instead of making it look more professional. You can make an easy crock pot meal for dinner instead of what you had planned that was a little more involved. All those things are worth me listening to now, where I would have pushed them aside before and pushed through and just been like, I'll be fine. It's not that bad. I know now, if I don't at least give myself a bit of downtime and give myself good nutrition and give myself the benefits of those plant-based treatments. If I could squeeze in myofascial release, I might give my lady a call to see what she's doing the next couple of days. All those things are worth the effort now. You know the saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It kind of applies here. A stitch in time saves 9. Like all those little sayings, if you give yourself what you need in the moment, you may save yourself days and days and days of spiraling and days of discomfort and increasing pain and increasing problems. And so I challenge you more than anything. It's not a new concept. It's not mind blowing, but really listen to your body and really understand that there are some things that can wait. I know sometimes it's like, if you're out of clean clothes, the laundry really can't wait much longer or whatever. I've been there. I know. But you get to prioritize your life and you get to decide what that looks like and what priority your health takes in the grand scheme of the to-do list. So put yourself on the to-do list in terms of a priority to take care of. Take care of yourself. If you need to sit down and rest, if you need to take 5 minutes to put some great essential oils on your aching muscles and breathe deeply and shut your eyes even, I give you permission. I hope that these tips have been helpful to you. I'm going to run through them one at a time really quickly so you can write them down if you were if it was too much, too fast. Here's what I do for natural pain relief. The most common things I do. Myofascial release from a trained professional. CBD. I choose Smart Spectrum CBD for myself and it works fantastically. A natural plant-based, essential oil-based, no toxic chemical-based pain cream, because I'm not going to combat pain by putting chemicals in or on or around my body. Okay. Essential oils. They work. They're out there to help soothe, comfort, and relax us. Dietary changes as needed for inflammation purposes and truly for healing purposes. Your cells respond to what you put in them. You're eating for your nutrition, your healing, and your survival. You can enjoy the eating process and contribute to your healing as well. And the final two wrapped into one are to rest and listen. Take the time to let your body tell you what it needs you to be doing. It will pay off in the long run. All right, my friends, I hope that was helpful. If you'd like to hear more or you have further questions, please comment and please let me know. And I would be happy to get around to addressing them and sharing more about my journey. See you later.